The prequel trilogy faced harsh criticism when it first released. However, decades later, it's now celebrated by many fans. Could the sequel trilogy have a similar redemption arc over time? Shut the fuck up. That's the only thing I could think. This is the biggest cope I've ever seen.
We've also heard it for 5 years. It's like these same tweets have been put out every year for 5 years now.
Yes.
That someday the sequel trilogy is going to be looked at just like the prequel trilogy.
It will never happen, ever. The prequel trilogy actually had fans, and it actually, like, I know there was criticism. There 100% was, but the prequel trilogy was a whole different ball game. And they are trying to basically rewrite history with a lot of these narratives surrounding prequels. I'm not disputing the prequels were hated. I know that. I've argued for the prequels forever and a day. So I know that the prequels had haters. I know that. But these are not the same things at all. In fact, when the sequel trilogy came out, regardless of how we want to look at it now, the narrative surrounding The Force Awakens was completely different than the narrative surrounding The Phantom Menace. Completely different. People walked away from The Phantom Menace very, very, very angry and very, very, like, let down. Whereas The Force Awakens, there was a ton of positive momentum for Disney Star Wars. They then pissed all of that away in a short period of time, whereas the prequels actually worked to rebuild that trust as this prequel trilogy went along, and it ended on a strong note with Revenge of the Sith. Whereas Rise of Skywalker, just like, you pissed off everybody at that point. Even the people that liked TFA at the time, people that, then you had people that were fans of, well, I won't say Star Wars fans, but there were fans of The Last Jedi. Everyone ended up hating Rise of Skywalker, whereas everyone loved Revenge of the Sith. So no, these are not the same things at all. It's not even close. What say you, Ryan?
Sequels are gay. No one's ever going to fucking like them. There's a reason that they haven't been able to do anything with any of these characters. There's a reason that there's so much negativity surrounding moving forward, like with like something like that in the plot line, and why I have to do all this side shit, why they're stuck in these eras. This is why it's happening, because no one likes them. It doesn't matter that all 3 of the movies that potentially might be in development right now might include Daisy Ridley in some way. Nobody likes that character. Nobody wants that character of Rey. They just don't. They have been unable to create characters that stand on their own that people truly care about. The first thing we got that was any semblance of that was kind of Mandalorian and Grogu. But even that in and of itself, you're taking a lot of that is generated simply based on because people know Yoda.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the Baby Yoda stuff is just because of how they designed that character. It has nothing to do with him specifically. He doesn't have a fucking personality. He's a 50-year-old baby. And Din Djarin doesn't have much of a fucking personality either. His entire backstory is literally just recycled from Jango Fett's backstory, which is stolen. These people have been able to do nothing on their own that stands alone, period. With, the exception being the movie the show that they're pumping a fuck ton of money into, which is Andor. But the problem is, I don't think that those characters necessarily stand up like some of the other characters do at all. You have little moments here and there, but I don't think that that's creating the type of excitement surrounding Star Wars a lot of this other stuff did.
Yeah, and
it's never going to live up. Disney Star Wars cannot live up to it. They've proved it.
It will never happen. So you guys can keep coping with your Star Wars fan pages because no one cares about Star Wars anymore. And so you're trying to get engagement by bullshit like this, by bringing the prequels into it. But the sequels will never, ever, ever have a fan base that's going to support them over time. You're going to have a bunch of fucking weirdos with pronouns in their bio. And that's going to be your fan base. And that's always going to be your fan base. And that's it. And nothing's going to change that.